Okay, good morning, friends. So today we'll start our, we'll continue that IB characteristics part. Okay, so last class we have discussed up to this. Okay, and we already said that we will take a small dy part. Okay, we have to calculate all this that transport equations, that will apply the continuity equations and that Gauss law, everything on this charge, small region of charge portion. Then we will calculate current on this region. Okay, then we will integrate whole region, so we will find the ID. Okay, so this thing we will discuss. So you can see actually this is the if you see the front picture, this is the 2-dimensional, and this is actually in 3D view. You can see in this way. Okay, this is nothing but your W. Okay, width of that device, and this is the length of the device. Okay, and from that length, this is the small dy part. Okay, so now what we will do, so here think about this. So this small region is nothing but a source of charge. Okay, and here oxide metal, and this is substrate. So we can enlarge or zoom this point to here. You can see, separate the small dy part, will and separate and zoom this part. Okay, so you will see the picture here. So this is nothing but this charge. Okay, this whole part, this part is nothing but this charge, and we assume that, and this point voltage is Vy. Okay, throughout this voltage is Vy, is constant, and charge, we are assuming the charge is also uniform. Okay, everywhere. Okay, and this is this total voltage is Vy. Okay, so though it's a charge, so we can represent as it is source. Okay, and there is a voltage Vy with respect to bulk. Okay, so Vy you can write is Vy, and this is respect to bulk. This is ground. Okay, and this part is your VGB as usual. Okay, and the thickness of this region, okay, is T0, or we can say T. Actually, by mistake, actually already for oxide region already we have generally represented T0. So this region you can say T. Okay, and this is the dy, and this part is, you can see, it's W, and this is dy, and this is T0. Okay, this is the region. Okay, so now in this region, whatever current, what is the current density? So you know current density, current per unit area. Okay, yes or no? So the current, whatever current will flow, the area is nothing but this T0 into width. Okay, this is the area. So here the current density is current per unit area. Okay, so for if you will calculate the current in this region, then what you will do? So you have to calculate the current density into area of this region. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that current density is nothing but Jy. Okay, Jy, and area is nothing but this is T0. So this part is your T0, and this part is your W. So this is the area, and this is your current density. Okay, suppose. So area into your current density is nothing but that current. So once you will calculate the current for this region, then you will integrate the whole region, then we will find the ID. This is the main thing we will derive. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now you can see, so charge almost uniform. What you are assuming? This region charge is uniform. Okay, the small dy part has the voltage Vy with respect to bulk. Okay, this is Vy is everywhere is constant because we have taken a very small region. Okay, there is no change. But if you take LR total L, then here 0, here VDB. But though you are taking very small delta amount of region, so Vy constant and charge also uniform. Okay, and though it's a source of charge, we have taken a source here, and we are thinking this, we are representing this way. That means initially we have calculated the body effect. Okay, by doing in this type of biasing arrangement. So here also all the whole calculation we can do with, by considering the Vy is the body effect, means that source to bulk voltage, okay, with the body effect. So though we have already discussed this part, so it will be easy for you how if Vy will change, what will happen, or Vy. So that thing, that's why you have represented in this way. Okay. So now we'll start our means how to derive that. So here this is nothing but the charge Qy. Yes or no? So this is the inversion charge at a small region. So Qi, why here I am written, because this is the y direction. Okay, in y direction we are doing everything. So Qiy is equal to, we know, minus C0 VGB minus VT, because here the threshold voltage and Q, everything is actually in this small region it's not changing. We are assuming it's constant, but in this region this VT or Qi it's changing. So that's why we have represented the means in Ty or Qy. Okay, so this is the charge at this interface already you have calculated at the inversion region. So Qi is equal to nothing but minus C0 into VGB minus VT. Okay, this thing you have calculated. Okay. Now VT, for that case also VT threshold voltage you have also calculated for that body effect. Suppose that is some body effect is there VSB. So that thing also you have calculated, that phi t plus V y plus gamma into phi t plus y. Okay, plus V flat band. So these two things already we have calculated when you have discussed in the body effect. Yes or no? So only thing is here y subscript is there because we are gradual channel approximation, because we are approximating that in that region everything is constant uniform, but in reality it's changing. Though it's a very small region, still in reality it's changing. Okay, in y direction the charge is changing. Okay, the voltage also changing. So that's why the VTY and QY we have mentioned. Okay, so these two things already you have derived, you know, you understood also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now next thing is, so QD, what is ID? ID is equal to W into T, what I said, that area into JY. Okay, ID in that part, small region, because in continuity equation we said the ID is constant everywhere, whether it is channel or a small region. So this part is your continuity equation like that. Okay, so this WT is your area and its current per area. Okay, current density. Okay, so if you multiply this area into current per area or current density, we can calculate the ID. Okay, here J is current density, W is equal to width of that small region. Okay, and T is equal to thickness of this that channel region. Okay, and that small dy part. Now you can see again ID is nothing but here Jy, we can define Jy in this way. Jy is equal to Qn mu n electric field, Qn then mu n electric field. So if you, okay, this is actually drift current. So already we have discussed three equations. This is the continuity equation. Okay, this part is the continuity equation. Okay, and this is nothing but your drift current. Okay, drift current due to electrons. So this is the charge, number of charge. This is Q. This is the mobility of this charge and electric field. Okay, so this is your drift current, that transport equation we are using. Okay, so Jy is equal to that Jy. This is your transport equation. okay, due to electron and drift only. Okay, so this thing, are you remembering or not? When suppose you have in your device class,
Yes, sir.
yes, one diffusion current is there, one drift current is there. Okay, so this is the drift current equation. So Jy is in this. Okay, now ID is equal, if you put this Jy here, so you can get this thing. ID is equal to this part W Q N T. So now we club these things because this is nothing but your Qi. QNT is thickness into this Q, number of charge into that Q value into thickness. Okay, so this is nothing but your Qi. So finally QNT is a charge concentration per unit area. So again here also, if the charge is not uniform, we are assuming the charge is, okay, we are assuming the charge is uniform throughout this area. Suppose it is not uniform, then what we can do? We can do this also. Okay, that charge is nothing but 0 to n integration of n dx. Okay, if in the x direction it is changing, so you can use this here also. But as for simplicity, we are assuming this charge is uniform in the x direction, so that's why directly we are using this formula. So this is clear. ID is equal to width into Qn thickness mu n electric field, and this part is now your Qi. Okay. So now come to this point. So ID is equal to this minus Q W Qi mu n Ey. Okay. So this is, so now ID is equal to this is your removing this. Okay. So now ID is equal to this. So now this electric field. So this what is that electric field? So D change in voltage by change in that region. Okay. So Ui is gradient of voltage Vy and changing with Vy. Okay. So this you can do this thing in the place of Ui electric, because that electric field and that region is nothing but change in Vy with the distance. Okay. Because we are assuming very small region, but actually we will do whole region. We will calculate ID for whole region. Okay. So for that ID calculation, we use that electric field, and that electric field is changing with that Y. So that thing we will use here. Okay. So now you will separate this dy to this part and dvy to this part. Okay. So now you can integrate. So now this thing you will easily understand. Okay. Now this is your ID dy is equal to this part. So now for whole current, for ID, to get ID, then we have to integrate over the region, whole region, means 0 to L. Okay. So this part is this is nothing but a very small, this is at that small region, dy region. But to calculate the current in the whole region, so you have to integrate in that region, complete region, means 0 to L. Okay. So ID dy, so now you have to integrate this. So this mu ny also, okay, actually here mu ni also changing in y direction. Okay. So but we are assuming it is constant here, because otherwise if you, the calculation will be very complicated. So that's why we have given a subscript y. So that means the mu n is changing with y direction. Okay. If voltage is increasing at the drain side, that means mu n also changing if it will approach towards the drain. So simply we have mentioned that subscript. So now integrate this part. Okay. So here, so as this is constant, so you can take outside. Okay. So we can take it as a mu n average. because it's changing, though you are taking is a constant. So finally you can say it's a average mu n. Okay, so W mu n. Now VSB to VDB. Why? Because at 0 means in this starting point, the voltage is VSB and this point is VDB. Okay. So that's why the limit is VSB to VDB QIY dVy. Okay. So now you can see here, you will integrate. So ID is equal to, this is your L. So if you integrate this part, this will be L. So now L will come to this side. Okay, W by L mu 1 C0. This QI, you can put the value. Already we have derived here. QI is equal to minus C0 VGB minus VTY. Just put that value here. Okay. So if you get C0, it is a constant. It will come outside. Then this is your VGB minus VTY. Okay. So see this thing. So VGB, this is VGB, and this part is nothing but a VTY. If you take bracket, so everything will fall. That plus. Okay. So this part is nothing but a VTY. Already we have calculated. Okay. So now you can see, if you integrate this part, see here 3 parts will be there. First thing is, don't bore. Actually, it's little bit. You have to give patience. How we'll calculate this. So this thing is, this is like constant. Okay. So VGB is constant, VFB is constant, and phi is also constant. Okay. These 3. So this is changing, linearly changing. This part Vy is linearly changing, and this is root over. Okay. So if you integrate these 3 things, so integrate this thing, and integrate this. So what you will get for this constant, you will get this and that limit VDB minus Vs. Okay, though it's a constant, so you get this into this Vy, means that is VDB minus VSB. Okay, so for this, if you will integrate this part only, you will get this part. So for this, okay, so you will get square by 2. Okay, so suppose if you integrate, say the linear part, so you square by 2, then this part finally VDB minus. So for this you will get, this is the integration, and for this, okay, so the integration part is this. So I will strongly recommend do this integration. Okay, are you agree with me or not? This equation means if you integrate these things by seeing this type of, this is constant, this is linear, this is square root. Okay, so that if you integrate that thing, you will get this type of term. Okay, this is square, this is 2 by 3 gamma, and some 3 by 2 power phi t plus VSB. Okay, so these 3 means 3 terms you will get if you integrate. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now,
Sir,
yes.
sir, when VDB will be too small and we are having a body effect VSB, so that term will be minus, because if VDB is small, then VDB square will be very small. So if we neglect it, so that
Yeah,
minus W by L in the first side minus sign, so that will be plus.
yeah, that thing will assume, but this is the actual equation. Okay, actually, 1 by 1 you should know these things. Actually, the real equation, whatever equation you are using, means that square law equation. Okay, this is the more approximate equation. That is the not a real equation. Actually, the real equation is this. Okay. Generally, what happens by doing some adjustment or taking some approximation, we are finally getting that square law equations. Okay, but you have to start from here. This is your first equation. So how we will means something will approximate or we will do some adjustment so that we will get that square law equation. Okay. So if you do in this way, so first you will get this equation. Okay, so these three terms you will get. This is one term, and this is another term. This is another. So and this equation is to remember also is very difficult. Okay, so and in the calculation also it's somehow difficult to get these exact things. So that's why we have to transform these to a square law equation. So this is your means it's the actual equation for ID. Okay, and if it's saturation, okay, this is the normal equation for every region. When the saturation comes, okay, when the saturation comes means that VDB is equal to VDB sat. Okay, so for that case, every VDB, if we put VDB sat, so that will be your saturation equation. Okay, so here and also in saturation, this QIL is equal to 0. For VDB is equal to VDB sat. Okay. So for saturation, what is the equation? The above equation at VDB is equal to VDB sat. Okay. For VDB greater than VDB sat. So neglecting channel length modulation. Here also we are not using any channel length modulation, but channel length modulation we have not discussed. We'll discuss that. So qualitatively, we have already said sometime what is channel length modulation. Okay. So this is the actually. If you derive, then this equation you will get. Okay, this is generally called 3/2 power law equation. Power law equation. Okay, so no need to remember these things. Just know how we'll get these equations. Okay, so no need to remember. Okay, just know. So if you will start derive. Then first you will get this type of equation. Then you will use some approximation. You will do some adjustment. Then you will get a very simple equation, that is square law equation, and that is valid for everywhere. And every analyst will use that equation. Okay, but this is the original equation. From this equation, everything will be derived. Okay, so clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll say here, just if you understood up to this point, just do the integration. So this is one part, this is a linear part. Okay, this is another part. So you are getting these things or not? Okay, so do this integration. Okay. So yeah, at this this is the idea for that 3/2 power law equation. By using that, so you will get this type of curve. Okay, and this part at VD sat. Okay, at VD sat, and so we said that the slope. Okay, the slope is 0. Okay, the slope is 0. Dou ID by dou VDS is equal to 0. Okay, that means after that everything will be constant. So we are assuming there is no channel length modulation. That means it will be almost constant. After VD sat, the current is almost constant. So the slope is 0 from here. There is some finite slope in this region. Though ID by dou VDS is equal to 0, when slope will start 0 from here. Okay. So in that particular point, okay, that particular point, we also say that QIL means, so suppose this is your okay, this is your L. Okay, you are starting from 0. This is L. Okay, this part is your drain side. This is your source side. Okay, So this point is L. That means Q at this point. This is nothing but QIL. At threshold point, at this point, QIL is equal to 0. This thing we know. QIL is 0. So QIL is nothing but minus C0 VGB minus VT L. L means that point, threshold voltage. Okay, is equal to 0. So that means if we solve this, this must be 0. Okay, that means VGB is equal to V phi plus VT plus this thing. So here, this is your VDB short. Okay. So every VDS we will put that VDB short. Your VGB is equal to. Okay. That means in that VTL, if you take this side, so you will get this type of things. So this is up to that 3/2 power law means equation. This is the first derived equation. So from that equation we will use some approximation, we will do some adjustment, then finally we will do the we'll get the square law equation. So now come to the next part. Here also in this equation again we can do also some simplification. What is the simplification? So if we put VSB is equal to 0. Okay, so we will do some without body effect. So we'll calculate this equation without body effect. So what thing we will get? So here VSB will be 0, VSB will be 0. Here VSB will be 0. Okay, so finally you will get some this type of equation. Okay, some simplified. If there is no body effect, so we'll get some simplified. Still that 3/2 power equations are there. Okay, so we are not simplifying to a square. So still that part is there. Okay. So in practice, this equation is rarely used. We have to convert to square law equation. So, and another thing we know, this is in mathematical way. So 1 plus x to the power n is nothing but 1 plus nx. This thing you know. If x is equal to very less than 1, so you can approximate these things is equal to 1 plus nx. So this type of thing we can apply here. Okay, because it's 1 plus x to the power n. So here also phi t plus bds to the power 3/2. So these thing we can approximate. Okay, by using this type of equation. So then we can get the square. So this is your phi t plus bds to the power 3/2. So take phi t outside. Okay, so it's phi t to the power 3/2. So 1 plus bds by phi t whole over 3/2. Okay, so now think about this is, so this part, this is your nothing but 1 plus x to the power n. Okay, where n is equal to 3/2 and x is equal to nothing but bds by phi t. Okay, and this x is very less than 1. That means phi ds by phi t is equal to very less than 1. What Satabdi initially pointed, that VDS is very less than the phi t or threshold voltage is said. Okay, so that here the VDS will assume that VDS is very okay less than that phi t. Okay, so if this will be valid, then we can do we will convert these to a square law. If VDS is very less than phi t. So now, so we can convert this equation to finally. So this equation if you will convert, so 1 plus, okay, so we'll get this type of equation. So this is if we multiply, so finally we will get this. Okay, this phi t plus bds to the power 3/2. So we get final this. So by applying the above in the ID equation, if we will apply this in this equation, means without body effect, what we have calculated for our simplification. we have discard the body effect. So if we in this part, so in this part, we will apply these things. Okay, so it will take these to these. Then finally, what we will get? So what we will get? So finally, if you apply this thing in that equation, we will get this type of equation. Okay, this is valid for VDS less than VD sat. That means it's a linear region. Means VDS less than VD saturation. That means charge is there, no charge is zero at that L point. Okay. Now, what will again we will simplify. You can see. If you do simplification, this finally, what you will get? This is gamma phi t. So gamma phi t 3 by 2, 2 by 3 will be cancelled. Okay, and this VDS square by 2 that will be there, and this part will be there. Then this is phi 2 VDS, and this is something. What is cancel gamma minus.
VDS they have taken common.
Yes, VDS they have taken common. If you VDS they will take common, then first of all this 2 by 3 and 3 by 2 will cancel. Okay, so VDS will be common. So phi t, here also one phi t is there. So is it correct? Just check that.
Yes, sir, it is correct.
Okay. So finally, yeah, but definitely you'll do this because here there is no time to. But it's the final equation is okay. So you can check this again. So you are getting same thing or not. Okay. So this is again valid for VDS very less than phi t. Okay. So finally, so if you will simplify this, then you will get ID is equal to. This minus is always there because the current is from top to bottom actually. So this is your the current is flowing in this direction. Okay, so from higher region to lower region like that. Okay, this is 0, coordinate 0. So that's why its minus is everywhere. So don't confuse with minus or plus. We should take its magnitude. Okay, so ID is equal to W by L mu n Cx VGS minus VT0 into VDS minus VDS square by 2. So now this is your square law equation. So whatever you are using for your calculation or what in anywhere the analysis, this equation is used for your calculation. Okay. So how you convert that from 3 by 2 power law to square law equation? So because it's very simplified equation, easy to remember and easy to calculate all these things also. Okay, and this equation is VDS less than VD sat. Okay, so generally this equation we said is the voltage is the current at linear region. Okay, this is the linear region up to this point. Okay, up to this point, this part is linear. Okay. So though we are saying VDS less than VD sat at saturation. Saturation means that at L the QI is equal to or QL is equal to 0. Okay. So that point, this is the saturation point. So whatever the equation is valid for this region. Okay. And generally we said that this is the linear region. So we can say this equation is called square law equation for linear region. Okay. So now, one thing I will say here, when you are calculating, converting this 3 by 2 power law to square law equation, there is some deviation. Okay, what is the deviation? So if you really calculate, you will get this type of thing. For square law, the current is more and threshold point also in a more VDS. Okay. So these two things will get. For this is for 3/2 power law and this is for square law. Okay, this is not exactly same. So we are converting 3/2 power law to square law for our simplicity for calculation, but since too much deviation is there, then what we will do? So we will do some adjustment. Okay, what will adjustment means, so that we will do some adjustment so that we can get same current in power law also, means square law also. Okay, because this is the original equation, this is the original current equation for a device, but by approximating all these things, all the circles, then we will get this thing. So this is too much deviation from this. Okay. So though it's original, we need this value. So you have to do some adjustment. So where we will do the adjustment? So we will do adjustment here, mu n. So this mu n adjustment is empirical. This is not physical. Okay. The physical mu n is something, but we have to use some other mu n so that the current at square law, the current will be this. Okay. That means we have to use some smaller mu n. That is the adjustment, empirical adjustment. Okay. So that the finally core, this is your square law, this is your power law. So the final core you will get like this.
Sir, we can change also W by L. We can also.
No, W by L, it's a design. See, you have to change this. Means according to your spec, you have to change. It's in your hand. But in actually from the means parameters, device parameters, that should be fixed. You will not fix here. So you will do fix in W by L. So another will fix in other way. That will be different. So that's why this is mu n is means device parameter. So you will not
internal means internal.
Yes, you have no control on mu n and Cx also. These things because that Cx depends upon the thickness of the oxide, and mu n also depends upon that the mobility of that is actually is in vertical direction, horizontal direction. It depends, but that is somehow it depends on the process. Okay, so you have no control on that. So that's why they have to adjust the empirical mu n. Okay, some in the model parameter what they have given a mu n, that value is actually less than the physical mu n value, so that your current or your threshold point will be same and the current will be same for both power law or square law or 3/2 power law. Okay, but actually though we are forcefully means equating both, so you will not get exact thing, you will get some deviation here at this point. Okay, but at this point it is same, this is also same, but this part like this, in between this. Okay, it will not affect your calculation because it is very small deviation. Okay. So that by doing this adjustment or all this approximation, so by doing this approximation and adjustment, so finally this square law is valid for all the calculations. Okay. So this part up to this is more mathematical. Okay, and still it's simple also. Okay, so how to calculate the original 3/2 equation, then from that 3/2 power law equations, how to approximate that square law equation, and which is valid for everywhere, all the models, everything we are using that square law, and whatever you will calculate, use that square law equations also. Okay, so up to this you understood or not? So only you have to do that mathematics, means how it is coming. So everything is written, just check, recheck or do again whether you are getting same thing or not. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this is up to threshold voltage we have calculated. What is after that? Okay. So for that we already said after that is saturation. That means that the current will not change with the VDS voltage. Okay. So that means we have to calculate what is the VDS at this point. So that if you put that VDS value in that equation, okay. So we have to calculate, because after that no current will change. That current will be constant. So from this point, so if we will calculate VDS at this point, that means we can say it's called VDSAT. VDS at saturation. So that VDS will use, then we will get that saturation equation. Means current equation at saturation. So this is this current equation at linear. Okay, where VDS is less than VDSAT. But when the VDS is greater than equal to VDSAT, that current will be your saturation current. Okay. So for that we have to calculate what is the VDS at this point or more. Okay. So here we will calculate that VDS. So how we will calculate? So this is your equation. Okay. So here you know this point, what is the slope?
Zero.
So everyone agree with Vakar? This is at this point the slope is 0.
Yes, sir. The change in slope after that is 0.
0, because by whatever change we will change that VDS, ID will be not changed. So dou ID by dou VDS is 0. Okay, so ID will be constant. That means ID is constant. That slope is 0. So here slope is 0. So if we differentiate this value, dou ID by dou VDS is equal to 0, then we can calculate VDS. Yes or no? At this point, the slope is 0. That dou ID by dou VDS is equal to 0. Then you can calculate this VDS. So that thing here. So dou ID by dou VDS is equal to 0. Okay. So if you differentiate, so you will get WL mu and CX. That square term will initially it was yeah.
You differentiate the two.
Okay. Okay. 2 it will be cancelled. Okay. So this will be VGS minus VT 0. Okay. So it is correct. Yes or no? Okay. The differentiate with so this VGS minus VT will be there, and 2 VDS by 2. Okay. 2 cancel. That is minus VDS is equal to 0. So now this part VGS minus VT minus VDS is equal to 0. Okay. So this part is 0. That means VDS is equal to VDSAT, because this is at saturation. Whatever doing, this is at saturation. So VDS is equal to VDSAT is equal to VGS minus VT0. Clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear.
That thing is, here the slope is 0. That's why dou ID by dou VDS at this point 0. So by doing the differentiator, you will get this equation. Then if we put this is at 0, then we will get this. So now this VDSAT is equal to VGS minus VT0. Okay. So if you will put here and this VDS. Okay, this VDS and this VDS. Finally, you will get. So finally, you will get this is your equation. Again, I am saying forget about this negative sign. Okay. This is only for that current is flowing in this direction. Okay, that is for negative. So this is your ID SAT. So 2 will be there. Yes. Yes. So this will be a square and minus half. So 2 will be there. So this is your ID sat equation at saturation. That means VDS greater than VD sat, greater than equal to VD sat. And VD sat is nothing but this part, VGS minus VT. So this equation is in the saturation region. Okay. So here two equations you found. One is saturation, another is linear. Okay. So linear is that VD sat is less than VDS is less than VD sat. That means if your VDS is less than VGS minus VT, your VDS is less than VGS minus VT. So that is your what? Linear or saturation?
Linear.
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 Okay. And if VDS is greater than VD sat or VGS minus VT, that is your
Saturation.
saturation. So
Saturation.
now two equations we found. This is linear and this is saturation. So another equation we have not discussed here, that is your cutoff region. So here in the for a transistor MOSFET, two regions are here. This is one and after this. Clearly, this is your linear region, then saturation region. Okay. So this region is your at this is equal to VDS greater than equal to VGS minus VT. Okay, and this region VDS less than VGS minus VT. Okay. And another thing is there, that is cutoff region. Cutoff means transistor is cut off. Transistor is not on. There is no current. So when will transistor will off?
When VG is 0.
VG is 0. Anyone?
VGS less than VT.
Less than threshold voltage.
Exactly. So when the VGS get to source voltage is less than threshold voltage, then there is no current because channel will be not far. Okay. So that is your cutoff region. So simply for that, that is no equation. So at cutoff, that is ID is equal to 0. Your ID you have defined some VGS minus VT whole square or all these things, but that ID is simply 0. Okay. So now understood three regions of operation for a transistor, that is cutoff, saturation, a cutoff, linear, saturation. In cutoff, threshold voltage is less than 0, less than VGS. Sorry, VGS is less than threshold voltage. ID is equal to 0. And in both cases, linear and saturation, threshold voltage is VGS is more than threshold voltage. In both cases, VGS is more than threshold voltage. Okay, but in one cases, VDS is less than VGS minus VT. In another cases, VDS is greater than VGS minus VT. So got the clear information, means suppose generally if you remember these things, someone will ask, then easily you can say, but you have to suppose he will ask, show me the graph, point out the points, where is the linear region, where is the saturation, why it is linear, why it is saturation. So now you are able to define.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So everything you can define in a very clear way, because this is the at saturation, this is the VD sat. Okay, this is the slope is equal to 0. Okay, so if you will differentiate that ID, so you will get VGS, VDS is equal to VGS minus VT. So if VDS is greater than that VGS minus VT, then from that point saturation will start. So that is called saturation. Less than that, that is linear. Okay, and less than VT, VGS is less than VT, that is cutoff. Okay, so clear. Now this is your final equation, and you know that VT is 0. There is no body bias. Okay, there is no substrate bias. So V flat band plus phi t plus gamma, and gamma also you can This is gamma is root over, I think. Okay. So these thing finally, after some approximation or adjustment, whatever you will do, you will get this equation. This is your IV equations for transistor. Okay. And now one thing I will say. So you have because though that 3/2 power law and that square law, from that equation still you have some doubt how the current is more, how the current is less. Okay, for square law you said for square law you will get this current, for power 3/2 power law we will get this current, because it's too long. We will not calculate it instantly that if we put the value then we will get this, if we put that square law we will get this. Okay, this is some difficult process. So for that you have to know the physical implication, how we are getting this. Okay. So you can see here, this is the approximation VDS very less than 5T, because only that 3/2, this is, you have to assume this VDS is very less than 5T. So what actually in real case we are getting this type of thing, because if you are increasing VDS, the depletion region increasing in this way. So that the original equation or actual equation we are getting 3/2 power law. So this due to these things we are getting that voltage. Okay. So though these type of things are there, so the inversion charge will be less here or not? Yes or no? This region.
Yes, sir.
So that current will be less. But what we are doing in square law, we are approximating that. Right? Approximating means the depletion region we are trying to constant everywhere, make it constant. Okay. So if you will make it, this is constant, that means the surface charge, inversion charge will be more here. For same particular voltage, in this case, the surface charge will be less. In this case, surface charge will be more. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Everyone agree with this point?
Yes, sir.
Already
Yes,
we have discussed these things. Just means remember, means when you are discussing that body effect. Okay. So if the depletion region increases, that means depletion charge increases. Okay, depletion charge increases, this voltage increases. Okay, so that means that control reduces. That means this phi I reduces. Okay. So in this case, this is the real case, 3/2 power law case. The surface charge decreases, but due to this, when we will approximate this, this will increase. So that's why the current is more. The current is more here. Okay. So that's why what we are doing, we are doing some adjustment. Okay. So got this point? What is the physical implication of that 3/2 and square law? Okay.
Sir, why don't we use 3/2 power law, sir? Because the threshold is also low, and the though the current is less, but the threshold is low. No?
In power square law also same threshold voltage. I said na, by adjusting, by doing some approximation and doing some mu adjustment, mobility adjustment, we are also getting same point. I said finally what we are doing, by doing some adjustment, same type of thing we are getting also power in square law. Okay. Here this is adjusted square law. Okay, the dotted portion. Okay, this is approximate square law. This is a real 3/2 power law equations curve, and this is the adjusted square law. So you can see that threshold voltage is same type of shape, only very little difference. That will not affect much in the equation, in the current.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, got
Okay.
it. Yes, sir.
So it's not different, it's same, because it is initial approximation. After that, what we have done? We have done some adjustment, mu n adjustment, decreasing mu n. It's empirical decrease, means it's not physical. We are setting some fitting parameters. Okay, so that we'll get this type of curve. And finally, in your model, because when you do some computer simulation or so, the model you will use, in that model it is also fixed. This means adjusted. So you will not get this, you will get this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
So everyone, Pracheta, Satabdi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whatever model you are using, so in that model it is adjusted already. Okay. So those things we don't know, because no need to know all these things, because we need that IDVD characteristics. Okay, that mu n always is there. That 144 and another is 300 something. That what value we are getting? That
So
ratio is-
444 and 150.
Oh yes, yes. That 444 is not the exact physical mu n. Actually, the physical mu n somewhat more. Okay. That is,
1,000.
yeah, that is, yeah. In book you can get some value, but in reality, the physical value is somewhat more. But due to this thing, that adjusted, that 444 is to adjust value. Maybe it's 600 or something. That 151 also adjust value. Okay. So now this is the final. This is also another thing. So VT0. Another, in every equations, you can see in the books, the equation is like this. In the last equation, V flat band plus phi t plus gamma phi t plus VSB. So you can, in your equation, in every book, it's not written as T0. Whether it's a Kang or any book, you can see it's written like VT. It's not T0, it's VT. So VT means its body effect is included. What is the difference? VT0 and what is VT? So it is no body effect. Okay, this is body effect is included. So most of the book you will see this equation or this equation where there is no T0, only T. This VT means its body effect is included inside that. Okay. So here you can see is VT0 is this, and VTB is equal to, if you will add body effect, okay, with reference to bulk, whatever we have calculated. Okay. So you can see two terms here. Here VSB, here also VSB. Okay. So if you take these to this side, so finally you will get this. And this is nothing but VT. This is threshold voltage with respect to bulk and substrate voltage with respect to bulk. So this part will nothing but VTS with respect to source. Okay. So that's why this part is not in your equation. Only this part. Okay. So what I am saying this, because in whatever book you will see, so you will see this type of equation. Okay, and it's not mentioned S, it's T. That means body effect is included. Okay, so you will get this equation, and also sometimes you will get minus. Okay, phi minus, this is phi t. I have written phi t plus VSB. VSB means reference to bulk, but actually we are saying it is reference to source. So that's why I've changed the sign. Vt minus Vbs. Okay, this is plus, now it's minus Vbs. So everything is reference to source. So though in practice we are calculating all these things with reference to source, so that's why your Vt is equal to, so flat band voltage is flat band VFB plus phi t plus that gamma, this part, plus and that's phi t minus VBS. Okay, so this part. Okay, and if you will calculate with respect to bulk, then this extra term will come. So got or not? Everyone understood this
Yes.
part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Pacheta Satabdi, already you have covered this. So now you can understand the difference. So if you do the calculation with the bulk, this term will come. But when you will calculate to the source, this term will not come. Have you marked this point?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I think if everyone will work on this, means if you'll do some problems, then you'll come across this point and you'll understand in more detailed way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So up to this, I think you have understood. You can do some problems also. So in Kang book, though it's your means in syllabus it is mentioned in your textbook. So a lot of problems are there. Okay, in backside of that in the transistor, chapter 3. So a lot of problems are there. So if you want to do start from now, or if you want, I will give some problem. Then I also say which problems you have to do. Examples, some examples are also there. You can do that. So once you will do the examples, you can understand better. Then you will that unsolved problems. Okay. Also, some that manuals also available. That solution manual also available in net. You can get also, but don't follow that manual. Just do check with the result whether you are going in right direction or not. Okay, so do that problems. So finally, this is the summary of the MOSFET. Whatever we have till now we have discussed. This is the ID equations. This is for a linear region, VD sat less than VD. This is the saturation region equation, VGS minus VTS whole square, VDS greater than VD sat. VD sat is nothing but VGS minus VT. Okay, with respect to source, everything now. Then VT is equal to VFB plus phi t plus VBS. Okay, remember this. Sometimes students are confused with this term, whether I will use VBS or VSB. So always it's source reference. So that's why I use VBS and this is minus. If you use VSB, then it's plus. Okay, so just remember this point, because in calculation you'll do the mistakes. Okay, so this part will change completely. So it's VBS because source is your reference point. Okay, and this is your gamma. Okay. This is the body effect parameter. Okay, and this is your final curve. This part is linear. This part is after these points. It's saturation. Okay, so this is the locus of the saturation point, and this is the slope actually. Okay, so this thing we'll discuss how it is changing. Already we have discussed qualitatively changing the channel length modulation. Generally we shared this. Okay, so for different voltage, so this will change, the slope will change. Okay, any doubt?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I had a small confusion.
Yes. Tell.
Yes, sir. The bulk and the source, when we are considering the body effect, and if I am considering bulk as a reference,
Bulk
and
as a
in
reference.
another
Okay.
case, source as the reference,
Hmm.
then when I am biasing it with VSB, for example, source is positive and bulk is reference, so bulk is grounded, and I am providing source with a positive voltage, so that is VSB. So at that case, before that, the source was reverse biased with the bulk, so now it will be more reverse biased for the VSB voltage which we are providing. Sir, but in the case where we are providing BS, bulk is bulk we are providing with more positive voltage and source is reference, source is ground. So at that case, the scenario will be different because we are providing bulk with positive voltage, so the barrier of the bulk with the diffusion regions will be decreased.
Decrease. Yes.
So
See,
during
I'm clarifying that point. Suppose you are saying, so this is source, so N plus, so this is bulk, so you will connect, so this is positive, this is negative, you will connect in this way.
yes, sir.
What happens, see, this is P, okay, so this is N, okay, so what we are doing, this is a PN junction, it's a diode like, okay, it's a diode, and we are doing a forward bias, P to positive,
Yes,
N to negative. So what happened? A heavy current will flow in this direction. Okay, so current will flow. So finally, this will add in a circuit, means more power consumption. If this voltage will be more, then finally this junction may break. Means heavy current will flow. Yes, in this. So that's why always this part is positive, this is negative. So that means it's always a reverse bias, no current will flow.
yes, sir.
Okay. So anyone have any? See, what I feel means in the first attempt you may not understand everything, but you are following or not. So if you read or if you will revise this thing, then you can understood fully. But you are following or not, means all these things, whatever this curve, what is that charge, electric fields are means that. Everything whatever we have discussed, that equations also.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay, so if you are following this thing, then just go through that video or these documents or from any books and correlate these things with other books. Suppose you are, don't confuse with these things with Kang book. Okay, it's a same thing, same concept, everything, but maybe notation may be different, but don't confuse. So if you understood this thing, easily you can do that. Nothing, not a problem. Okay. Okay. So now we'll start that channel and modulation. Okay. So, so already in qualitative analysis, we said what is channel length modulation. Means you know that base width modulation of BJT. Everyone, I think, know that base width modulation. Chitra is present or not? So who can say what is base width modulation of a BJT? No or not?
I don't remember.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, it is just similar as the early effect in tram MOSFET. We are getting it by varying the VDB.
So, yes, sir.
Yeah,
So that will be base to collector voltage.
base to collector. Yes,
Yes, sir.
actually in BJT, you know, there is two junctions, emitter to base junction and base to collector junction. Okay, so emitter base junction is forward biased and base to collector junction is reverse biased. Yes or no? That simple thing you should know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, that the base to collector junction is reverse biased. When you increase voltage in the reverse direction, okay, reverse voltage will increase. What happen? The depletion region will increase or not? Okay.
Yes.
So guys, come on, this thing you should know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, this is your emitter. This base is very okay. So so it's our NPN. Okay, so this is your. So this is your BJT. Now we are increasing this voltage. Okay. So this is N is equal to positive, P is equal to negative. So it's a reverse bias. Okay. And this part is actually heavily doped. Compared to this base, it's heavily doped. Okay. So when we will increase, there will be a depletion region. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. So if will again it will increase more and more, what we will do? So here, though it's lightly doped, the extension of depletion will be more in this region. Okay, rather in this direction because it's heavily doped. So heavily doped means the width depletion region would be less in this side, more in this side. Okay, in the base region, the depletion region will extend towards base. So that's why this is called base width modulation. Means base width will modulate, will change by increasing the reverse bias voltage between base and collector. Okay, that base width means this base width now the actual effective base width will be less. Initially the base width is this, suppose. Now the base width will be less. Okay, due to that depletion region. Because it's lightly doped, depletion will extend towards this. So finally the effective base width is less. So that is called base width modulation. Very simple. It will now you are understanding how simple it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
This is width modulation. Width change. Base width change. Modulation means is modulation. It will be some change. Okay. So base width will be changed. So similar here, channel length modulation. What is the meaning of that channel length modulation? Like base width modulation, it's channel length modulation. And channel length will modulate and channel length will decrease. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, but how?
Oh, already we have discussed how. So see, this is your structure. Okay, this is drain. We are giving more voltage to drain. Okay, drain to source. Okay, your source bulk are connected. So drain to source we are giving more voltage. If we are giving more voltage, this is P. Okay, this part is your P. This is P, and this is N. So we are giving a positive voltage to this. So what happened? This is NP PN junction or not? This is N, this is
Yes,
P.
sir.
So reverse bias is there or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why depletion will be more in this region.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And this is though it's negative and this is negative. So there is no some due to this doping. So some depletion region will be there. But in this region, more depletion region will be there. Okay. So already I have discussed, though this depletion region is there, more charges will be in this region. Okay. More negative charges, means Na minus. And the inversion charge will be less here. So finally, if you increase from VDS, means threshold point, the VDS start, you will increase the voltage from the VDS start more than that, then what happen? The inversion charge will be 0 or not. Okay, so it will come down. Means
Channel
Yes,
length will decrease.
that means this is generally, what is the channel? Channel means the pile of electrons, is a sheet of charge. Okay, so if there is no charge, that means the channel is decreasing or not.
Yes, sir.
So that's why we are saying this is channel length modulation. Okay, that means channel length initially this, now this, now this, now this, like this. Channel is decreasing. Okay, by changing with this voltage. In the BJT case, if you changing the reverse bias voltage, base width decreases, but here channel length decreases. Okay, so that is called channel width modulation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And how it is decreasing, that also you know, because it's the absent of charges, inversion charge, absent of inversion charge. Absent of inversion charge means there is no channel. That means the effective channel length is this in some VDS. So this is your effective channel, and this is your total L. This is the total initial channel L. Now this is suppose your delta L. When delta L reduces. Okay. So the effective channel will be L minus delta L. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you will take L common, so 1 minus delta L by L. So this is your effective channel. You know what is channel length modulation? Very simple definition. No need to go any book, any fancy description. If channel due to the VDS, if you will increase the VDS more than the saturation point, if channel length is decreases, then that is called channel length modulation. Okay. If everyone will ask,
Sir?
Yes.
So the channel length is reducing. So like first the width is getting reduced, then the length is getting reduced. So it's reducing
What is the width?
uniformly in the
No.
length.
No, what is the width? I am not getting that width.
That means is the length it is there. It has some thickness like in the x direction also.
Okay, thickness.
That means it's narrowing.
Yes, definitely. You see, if the number of charges will be less, definitely the thickness will be less. So finally, that's why it's like a triangle shape. We are getting a triangle shape almost. Okay. So initially, due to this effect, the charge will be less. Finally, but in this case, it will be thick. This is thin. Okay.
Sir, so in that place where it is like thin, the triangle part near to the VDS, sir, there the density of the electrons will be more, no? So R4 should be more there. So that confusion I was having yesterday. Like we're dividing it into resistances R1, R2. Yes, sir. So R4 will be more at that place. So resistance will increase in that place.
No, resistance actually resistance we can say increase, but whatever in saturation region we are calculating that VD sat value. We are not calculating that whole value, whole VDS value. When that ID is equal to VD sat by R average. Okay, so here whatever voltage dropped this region means where it is 0, that voltage by that resistance we are calculating. But you are saying in this region the resistance will be very high. where the charge is not present.
No, sir. I'm saying yes, sir. Like how the length total channel is not there, so resistance is totally not but also in the while reducing the channel also at some part the remaining resistance, one part is thick and one part is thin, so its effective R average will also increase according to its density there also.
Means here up to this region you are saying the effective resistance will be high.
Sir, yes, sir. In the near the sir, if that part is divided into R1, R2, and R3, so R3 is near the VGS thing, like where you have marked the VGS. Yes. So in R3 part also the density will naturally increase as the surface inversion charge will start decreasing. So then also R3 will become more as the density increases. So the overall R average should.
Overall R, you are saying the overall R average should increase. You are saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that thing one way you can say, but overall distance also you can see. Suppose it says resistance. Suppose you say resistance. Forget about that thickness. Suppose you say resistance, and this is another resistance. Okay. So though the length is more here, this resistance will be more. Okay, in this part the resistance, you can see this part resistance will be definitely less because the length is less. Okay, but yeah, that thing is correct. What you are saying, that means thickness will be less, then resistance will be more. That is okay. But in this way, you can think about if the length will be less, then resistance also less.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually for a very detailed analysis, quantitative analysis, we can get a clear picture. But in qualitative way, in this way, you can think. Means if you'll say how this part is increasing. Okay, so after saturation, how this is increasing. So this increment we can say means though you are using same VDS at this point, whatever VDS we are using, at this point also same VDS we are using. But the only thing matters that resistance. Only that resistance is decreasing. That means we are though you are the resistance part is involved with the less length and that channel. So that's why resistance is decreasing. So that means this is increasing. So this is very means low and means rough qualitative analysis. Okay, but in reality, this thing we can calculate in equations. Okay, what is the exact value? Okay, so anyway, but this thing I'll if I'll get any quantitative analysis of this region resistance wise, I'll actually share. Okay.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Okay. So now you can see this is yes. Now another thing is this del L. This del L means what is the time now? Okay, another 10 minutes. Okay, so this del L, change of del L is no. You know that if there is a reverse bias junction is there, this is P, this is N. So that voltage, this del L means change in that is depends upon the square root of VDS minus VD sat. This voltage. This is VD sat and this is VDS. Okay, this is VD sat and this is VDS. Okay, you can go through that reverse bias PN junction. So definitely you will get means how that L is changing. Okay, that is depends upon the square root of this VDS minus or any is reverse voltage square root of that. So that thing we can put here. So for a PN junction, the depletion region varies with the square root of the reverse bias voltage. So this thing. So at saturation, so this is the equation. Okay, so here you can put L effective. Okay, what is the L effective? L effective is nothing but L minus delta L. Okay, whatever delta L is reducing, that you can put. Okay. So again, if we take L outside, then 1 minus delta L by L. So this part you can put here. Okay. Now, so this is very simple thing, you know. If 1 by 1 minus, sorry, it's 1 by 1 minus x. So it's nothing but 1 plus x. Okay. So if x is very, very less than 1, so this thing we can get. It's 1 plus x. This is also approximate thing, you know. So this thing we can apply here. So 1 by 1 minus delta L by L is equal to 1 plus delta L by. Okay. So finally, this thing I have written. You see, this is your nothing but your actual equation. Okay, with the channel length modulation. So initially this part is not there. So generally we say that it is constant. Current is constant. There is no VDS term in the equation. So ID is not dependent on the VDS initially. But here, so another part is there, that is 1 plus del L by L. Okay. So that means when you increase VDS, here there is no direct VDS is there, but due to the VDS increment, del L increases. Okay. So del L increases means this part 1 plus del L by L will increase. So that's why current is increasing. Okay, got this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the thing we'll add in the channel length modulation. So now we'll approximate this part to a channel length parameter. Okay. So that means we'll use these equations. Del L is proportional to VDS by VDSAT. So again, same thing also, del L by L also proportional to VDS minus VDSAT. Okay. So finally, we will approximate this equation to a parameter lambda VDS. Okay. So again, this calculation is complicated. So just remember, whole part you can approximate in this format, lambda VDS. This is lambda is a channel length parameter. Okay. So in the place of this 1 plus lambda L by L, we can put lambda VDS. So directly, though here there is no direct VDS term, but a del L depends on the VDS. But in the place of this, directly we can put lambda VDS, so that if VDS will change, the current will change. Okay. So lambda is a finite positive parameter. Okay. So it depends upon the technology. If the technology is what technology you are using, so lambda is very, very less. Okay. But in lower technology, the lambda will be very, very high. Okay. So it depends upon the technology, the shape of the that curve at this saturation region will be different. If it's a higher technology, then shape almost constant. Slower technology to change. It depends upon the technology lambda's value. Okay. So this is again another important thing. What is important here? The important thing is here you can see this is the threshold point. So before that some finite slope was there, but here we are saying that is zero slope at threshold point. Okay. So there is a discontinuity. Means some finite slope was there, after that directly it is zero. So in mathematical, in computer simulation, this is a very, very problematic thing. Okay. Means from that the transition is not smooth. Some finite value to zero. Okay. That equation will, means that model will not work in the computer simulation. So that these things, means this 1 plus lambda VDS also we are adding here in the linear equations also. Where is the linear equation? Also yes. Okay, here also, though it's not required, because before threshold voltage there is no channel length modulation. No, channel length is not decreasing on nothing. So but still we have to use this value 1 plus lambda is only for that smoothness. At this point the slope will be smooth. There is no sudden transition from one value to other, means zero. Okay. That means throughout the thing slope is there. Okay, so that's why we have included this part, and this part will not affect much on the ID. It's very, because at linear region VDS is very less, so this part will be very less. So it will not affect much on the current. Okay, so you can see what is the smoothness. This is the smoothness due to this addition of this. Okay, so all the slopes are meeting at one point. The slope is not zero. Okay, slope is meeting, all the slope is meeting at this is in the BJT is called early voltage. Here also it is also in early voltage, you can say. Okay, all the slopes will meet at. And mobility degradation, another important point from which time. So your class will start from 11:40 or 11:45.
Sir, 11:40.
So we'll stop here, or
Yes, sir.
okay, we'll stop here. What I'll discuss, okay, it will not complete now. So up to this MOS complete. So everything is completed. So you can start some problems you can solve. So what we'll discuss in the next class tomorrow, only that dynamic part, the transistor at high frequency, what is the transistor behavior, what are the capacitances, and what is the small signal circuit. Okay, so that thing we'll discuss, and we'll end that transistor part and tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.